Good afternoon, YouTube. Fat Cat Collections back at you with another fragrance review. And today I want to talk about another cheapie that I picked up. It actually came in the mail today. And this one is by the house of Karen Lowe, okay? Now, Karen Lowe is a company underneath, I guess, the parent company of a company out of France called Je Parlez. And I believe I'm saying that correctly. It's G-E-P-A-R-L-E-Y. Now, there's not a lot of information on this particular house. There's no information about the actual nose behind or the actual creator or the perfumer behind these fragrances. But I will tell you that this is definitely a brand I'll be picking up more of. What intrigued me a lot about this particular fragrance, right off the bat, I definitely like the bottle. And what really made me buy this fragrance is, one, the price, and two, somebody had posted on one of the Facebook pages out there, I believe it's on Red Alesson's Facebook page, that this is one of his favorite cheapies, and he walked into church and heads were turning. So, to me, that was enough for me to go ahead and make the decision to go ahead and spend, get this, $12.50 shipped through eBay. Now, those prices will fluctuate a little bit, but worst case scenario, you're going to be paying about $13, $14 shipped to your door. And this is a fantastic use of the price. Now, there's not a lot of information on Fragrantica. Actually, there's no information on Fragrantica. There's no information on base notes on this particular fragrance. And this one is called Karen Lowe Pure Eau Blanche. If I'm saying that correctly. Pure Eau Blanche. You can see white bottle. Let me go ahead and show you the box that came in first. We'll go in with the presentation real quick. If you watch my videos before, you know I don't get involved too much in the presentation. But it was a nice presentation. This came cellophane wrapped. It's a basic square box. Not too much else to be said about it. It's in a gloss white. And then what I really like about this fragrance is that the bottle is remarkably similar to one of my favorite colognes, Encre Noir. Now, they make an Encre Noir white, I believe it's called, that I wanted to pick up. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm just going to try this. Now, I have not smelled Encre Noir white. I'd like to smell it before I buy it because I tend to be more into fragrances that are not of the, I guess, the fresh classification. This is definitely what would be classified as a summer or spring scent. Although, again, I've said in every one of my videos that I personally think you can wear fragrances whenever you want them, but we'll put that to the test this summer. As the weather starts to get warmer, I'll start wearing ones that they say should be worn only in the winter time. This one here, show you real quick the bottle. Like I said, is very, very similar to the Encre Noir by Lalique. It's all white, gloss white. The sprayer on this is fantastic. There's definitely no lack of juice spraying out of this baby. Nice wide blast, not a narrow stream pattern, but definitely a nice diffusion on this one here. Again, I'm not one who really cares about that, but the bottle is really nice. It does look really nice on your shelf, and I think for $12.50, it's a no-brainer. Now, when I sprayed this perfume, or this fragrance, one thing that came to mind is that it smelled like something I've smelled before. And I have my personal opinion on a lot of these fragrances out there. I feel like that there's maybe those really high-end fragrances that are very, very unique, like a couple of the ones I picked up recently. Check out my videos on Sfumato, what else? We got some by 24, or Scent Story. Amazing fragrances. Very, very unique. But, again, there's a lot of fragrances being produced out there by a lot of companies you've never even heard of that smell very similar to high-end fragrances. Now, I don't know what this one is supposed to replicate, if any. Sometimes I feel like some of these cheaper fragrances that they have like this just common fragrance, and either they just have the same fragrance and they just put it in different bottles and sell it to whoever, the brand name is, and just call it something different. Now, this one, when I smelled it, a couple different fragrances in my collection came to mind. And what I did is I did a blind sniff test. Again, it's always different when you wear it on your skin, and I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing quite a bit of it right now, and I can't really smell much of it. But then again, your nose does adapt to what you're wearing. I always find it very difficult for me to smell anything on my skin in the fresh category, with the exception of Periel's 360. That one I could always smell on my body. And the other one that comes to mind that I can definitely usually smell is get back to you on that. But like I said, I can always smell ones that have the oud in the woods, and a lot of the ones that have the leather, more your stronger masculine fragrances, like zoologist, those kind of things, I can definitely smell on my skin. Naturally, they're much higher quality fragrances. You're looking at $200 for 100 ml as opposed to $12.50. Naturally, there is going to be a difference. You're definitely going to get a stronger juice. You do get what you pay for, but then again, for $12.50, and if you're a cologne collector, why not pick it up, okay? So, again, the fragrances that came to mind when I first smelled this, I'll tell you what came to mind, and I'll tell you what I got from it. And I did a little research on the notes because, again, there's not a lot of information on these other fragrances that it reminds me of. First one this reminded me of, okay, is this one right here I've just picked up, called Slate by Banana Republic. This has a gingery, they say this has 2 notes on Fragrantica, basil and ginger. Now, I'm sure it has more than basil and ginger in it, but I can't find any information on this particular fragrance. What I get is that this shares a remarkable similarity to Banana Republic's Slate. There is a difference, but it's actually wearing it on the skin. I'm not really sure if you would be able to tell the difference. If somebody smelled this in a blind test, I don't think they'd be able to tell the difference either. Now, this one here can be had for about $20 if you find it in your discount stores. And I did a review on this, so go ahead and check that out, where I touch on the notes a little more, although there are only 2, but check out the video anyway. The other fragrance in my collection that I've also compared Slate to is this one here by Armaf, called Italiano Uomo. Now this, based on the video reviews and some of the information online, is supposed to smell like Tom Ford's Tuscan leather. When I smell this fragrance, I really don't get any leather. I get a spicy, citrusy, fresh scent, okay? And when I smell this new cologne by Karen Lowe, Pure Eau Blanche, I get a spicy, citrusy, gingery kind of vibe to it. I don't get the kind of spice you might get like in a spice bomb, but there is kind of a fresh spiciness to it. The information that I found online about this fragrance says that this contains 4 notes. You have black suede, which I don't get at all. I don't get any leather in this whatsoever. But then again, it's all subjective. Everybody's nose is different. They say violet, musk, and exotic woods. Now, what's interesting is that when I compare the notes on the Armaf Italiano Uomo, that has violet in it, and that one also has musk. So that's probably 2 of the predominant notes in this fragrance, and I would assume possibly Slate and Italiano Uomo, which is probably why I'm making that connection between the 3. I did spray a small piece of tissue paper, 3 different ones of each of these colognes. I put them down on the desk, and they were all remarkably very, very similar. So, with that being said, Italiano Uomo is one that doesn't really last on my skin all that long, and same thing with Slate. So, for the price, I would say definitely check this out if you like a citrusy, fresh scent. Now, this one also says there's no ginger in it. I get a ginger note out of it. I definitely get that, just that fresh, spicy, citrusy, gingery kind of vibe out of this. And that's the best way that I can describe this cologne. Now, there are people out there with much better noses. I'm not really sure that anybody's going to review this because it is such a cheapie, but I hope they do. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up another one by Karen Lowe, and they make one called Pure Blanc. And that one's supposed to be a little bit different. You know what? For the price, and I mean the presentation of the bottle, it's fantastic to have these in your collection. It's the kind of cheapie that I just want to blast on before bed and you know, just smell fresh. I mean, it doesn't hurt you to go put on 20 sprays, right? I mean, it's cheap. So that's my review of Karen Lowe Pure Eau Blanche. If I'm saying that correctly, I always screw up these names. Bear with me. I'm just telling you about the juice. Yeah, I think it's definitely a win-win for the money. But definitely, if you have any of those other fragrances, or you smell those other fragrances, man, check this out. And if you've had that kind of similarity and you agree with me, I'd like to hear about it. Go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section. If you have this cologne, man, let me know what you guys think. Several people, there's about 107 reviews on Amazon in this particular fragrance, and a lot of people had really good things to say about it. Some people were like, oh, it's synthetic. What do you want for $12.50, folks? So get it in your collection. Go ahead and click the link in the description. That'll take you where you get it for the best price. I also put a link in the card section in the upper right-hand corner, but if that is not there by the time you watch the video, just click the link in the description. That'll take you to where you can go ahead and pick this up for the price that I got it from. So there it is, folks. That's my quick review on Pure Eau Blanche by Karen Lowe. Definitely a winner to have in your collection if you like a fresh, citrusy, peppery kind of scent. Alright, folks, let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching. Remember, subscribe to the channel.